Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Welcome back to WKYT News at 6:30. A former Wildcat breaks his leg in his very first NBA game. We'll have the latest on Julius Randle's condition this morning.
We're tracking the investigation into an overnight shooting in Madison County.
Also this morning, an update on an NFL fan who seemingly disappeared during last week's Broncos game. Well, those stories and more in breaking news as it happens. It's coming up on WKYT This Morning. Hey, good morning to you and welcome. It's good to have you along. Here we are on Wednesday, October 29th, rolling toward November and Halloween and all of those things. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. Yeah, it's a good thing that cooler temperatures, I guess, are here for Halloween. I don't really know what to make of that. But
I don't know, but it does seem to fit, doesn't it? Let's check in with meteorologist Micah Harris in our First Alert Weather Center.
Yeah, and it does look kind of spooky as we head toward Halloween. It doesn't look that good. It's very sloppy, much like what you're seeing down in the southeast this morning. And a lot of that is pretty moderate rain, too, especially Hal Rogers Parkway and eastbound. Now we're starting to see that inch off into, say, Perry County area and also off into Knott. If you work your way into southern portions of Breathitt County, we're going to be seeing that rain continue to fall. Georgetown to Frankfort to Richmond. It's pretty sloppy go at it down in the southeast, but for those locations, actually not that bad. It's on the cool side right there around 50 degrees. You see 58 by the afternoon with a mixture of sun and clouds. Now the Halloween forecast and up into the night, that's when it gets very, very tricky. We're talking maybe the first flakes of the season. Some of us happy about that. I think most of us are saying way too early. And I'll show you that forecast coming up.
All right, Micah, thank you. We begin with a tough story for a former Wildcat.
yeah, it's really hard to believe. A huge setback this morning for former Kentucky Wildcat Julius Randle.
The LA Lakers forward broke his leg last night in his NBA debut. WKYT Sean Moody is live with a look at what could be a season-ending injury for Randle. Sean's there at Rupp Arena. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, this was really tough to see happen to Julius Randle. He was the 7th overall pick in the draft. This was going to be his big NBA debut. He'd played a little over 13 minutes in this game and scored 2 points when the injury happened. Doctors diagnosed Randle with a broken right tibia last night. They'll be taking a closer look today. This happened during the 4th quarter of the Lakers-Rockets game. Video from TNT showed Randle driving to the basket, and as he went up into the air, his left leg appeared to hit his right leg awkwardly. He was on the ground for several minutes as doctors looked at him. They put an air cast on his leg before they took him off the court. Now again, the team doctors there at the arena last night diagnosed it as a broken right tibia. There's no word yet on how long Randle will be out. Live in Lexington, Sean Moody, WKYT.
All right, thanks so much, Sean. Also new this morning, one person's in the hospital, another in jail after an overnight shooting. This happened about 11 o'clock last night on South Dogwood Drive in Berea. Few details have been released, but Madison County Sheriff's deputies do say that the victim was taken to the hospital. The jail says Johnny Durham was arrested in connection to the overnight shooting. He's charged with assault. Crews out searching for a missing Kentucky man found a body in the Licking River. Search teams were looking for 32-year-old Clinton O'Brien of Harrison County, who's been missing for a week. His car was found Monday night near Robinson Dam. The keys were inside and it had a flat tire. The search team recovered the body last night near the dam.
Having the keys in the ignition was just a trigger for us that we really need to thoroughly make sure there's nothing down here. I mean, we would rather left here thinking he wasn't here as to finding somebody.
The coroner says he hopes to be able to identify the body today. O'Brien's family was there last night when the body was discovered. They're still trying to figure out what led up to all of this and his disappearance.
Now coming up on 6:33 on WKYT.
This morning, we're learning some new details about an Eastern Kentucky murder case.
State police say a third suspect has been indicted, along with a mother and son who are accused in a Morgan County deadly shooting. WKYT's Whitney Wetzel is at our live desk with the new details this morning. Whitney?
Good morning. The Morgan County grand jury has indicted 2 people arrested on murder charges. They also indicted a third person in connection to the crime. Christopher Payton is charged with murder, while Kimberly Payton is charged with complicity to commit murder. A grand jury also indicted Michael Ferguson on 2 charges, facilitation to murder and tampering with physical evidence. Police say all 3 are charged in connection to the murder of Randy Williams. Officers found Williams dead at his home on Dyer Branch Road in West Liberty nearly 2 weeks ago. He had multiple gunshot wounds to his chest. All 3 of the people indicted are being held at the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center. At the live desk, Whitney Wetzel, back to you.
Whitney, thank you very much. A former girls' high school basketball coach is accused of recording video of the players in the locker room. The Harlan County Sheriff's Office arrested Anthony Nolan yesterday. He teaches English at Harlan County High School and had coached the girls' basketball team up until May. The sheriff says the investigation started in May after a parent complained.
He had informed me that his daughter, with several other girls, had located what they believed to be Mr. Nolan's cell phone in a mesh part of a duffel bag and in an empty locker, and it apparently was recording at the time.
Nolan is charged with criminal attempt to promote a minor in a sex performance and criminal attempt to promote a sexual performance by a minor. The sheriff says more charges are possible. Nolan will be arraigned next week.
The Laurel County Sheriff's Office released surveillance video of a man wanted for robbery. Deputies say this man robbed the Saddlebrook Dollar General store near London Saturday night. They say he had a gun at the time.
With less than a week until Kentucky's general election, former President Bill Clinton is heading back to the Bluegrass State. He will be with candidate Allison Lundergan Grimes tomorrow in Louisville. His wife Hillary Clinton will be in Lexington and northern Kentucky to stump for Grimes on Saturday. As for Republican Senator Mitch McConnell, he's been on a statewide bus tour with singer Lee Greenwood this week. And Louisiana's Governor Bobby Jindal will appear with McConnell today in Louisville. Well, NASA investigators are trying to figure out how a commercial supply rocket headed to the International Space Station exploded in midair. The unmanned rocket crashed and burned just moments after liftoff at the Wallops Island Launch Complex in Virginia. It was carrying a cargo ship packed with supplies for the 6 crew members aboard the ISS. No one was hurt. Officials say they are warning people in the area not to touch any of the debris near the crash site, as it might be hazardous. Also, some word that some student experiments are on board as well. So we'll see what the investigation finds out in this.
Yeah, you don't see that every day.
Well, a Denver Broncos fan who disappeared during last week's game has been found safe.
Denver police say 53-year-old Paul Kitterman was found last night about 100 miles south of Denver. No charges are expected. Family and friends say Kitterman disappeared during halftime of last week's Thursday night game. They say he was not drunk at the game and has no history of mental illness. Former Major League slugger Jose Canseco recovering after shooting himself in the hand at his Las Vegas home. A police spokesperson says officers responded to the call of an accidental shooting yesterday. The former Oakland Athletics outfielder told police he was cleaning his gun in the kitchen when it fired, shooting a finger on his left hand. The Kansas City Royals put together a 7-run second inning and forced a 7th game in the World Series by crushing the San Francisco Giants 10-0 last night. Lorenzo Cain had 3 RBIs, including a 2-run single during the big rally. Yordano Ventura held the Giants to 3 hits in 7 innings for the victory. Game 7 is tonight at 8. The Louisville Zoo says one of its pythons did something no python has ever done before. Yeah, workers say Thelma reproduced without ever meeting a male snake. They say the 11-year-old snake is a rare example of parthenogenesis. That's a scientific term for virgin birth.
We thought that was a little odd that we had a clutch of eggs. Sometimes snakes can retain sperm, and that's possible. So we took that clutch and we incubated some of them here, and lo and behold, we hatched some offspring. All right, Thelma's offspring are all female, and they're said to be normal and healthy. So there you go. There you go. No male needed. Happening. Right. It's like you were saying, keep that in mind. 6:38 the time on WKYT this morning. Let's check to see how things are on the roads. And here's Officer Don with a check of live drive traffic. Good morning, Don.
Good morning. No wrecks right now. I don't know who picks these stories just before me, but I'm going to hush.
Yeah, just move on.
Yeah, no wrecks right now. Traffic looks good on the circle and the interstate. Let's get a look outside, and we'll show you what to expect. Of course, the roads are a little wet around the region. That could make a difference on the way in. Nicholasville and News Circle looks okay. If you plan to be inbound on the north side, we got a stalled car in the inner loop just before, looks like Russell Cave. Should be in the right lane. Not a major issue there. On our Waze map, you can see everything is normal. Circle. Slowest traffic is on Nicholasville Road there, down to 19 miles an hour and bound across the county line in places. The rest right in toward the Circle looks about normal. Now back to you in the studio.
All right, an officer down in Deanna on 98.1 The Bull with some good music and fun this morning when you get in your car. Good to have you along on WKYT this morning.
Here's a good word to the wise. Don't hand out gin and juice to trick-or-treaters. A family known for making viral videos is out with a new Snoop Dogg parody just in time for Halloween.
And we're looking for that rain down toward the south and southeastern zones. Once that moves on out, I think we do get at least some sunshine today, but it's going to be on the cool side. And then it gets really cold as we head throughout the next several days. I'll show you that forecast off into your weekend coming up next.